Thump, thump, bump.
Thump.
Sorry, there's going to be a lot of stifling today.
Thump.
For more reasons than the inauguration. I'm actually sick. Not just in the head.
Yeah, but you look just great.
I don't actually this time, Kristina. You always say that.
No,
I know you're lying
do.
this time. I think I got to take off this hat. I'm starting to have a weird sweat. Oh, okay. That's better.
I mean, for a sick person, you look great.
Yeah.
That takes it down
For a dead
notch.
person, I look amazing.
Let's see. Are
amazing.
we
I
loud
feel like
enough?
we've forgotten something. Are we missing something?
I don't know. What are we missing? Let's think about it for a second.
You've got your computer plugged in. Our
Yeah.
headphones are in. Our microphones are working.
Yeah.
Do you see the thing registering?
Yeah.
We're just on one channel for music again today, though.
Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. I completely forgot about it.
I forgot too.
Yeah. We're going to have to make the switch to the no, what is it called? It's not an iPhone. It's an iPad. Well, I could switch to an iPhone. That's another thought. That could work.
We're going to do our radio show off an iPhone.
No, the music can come off the iPhone.
You're wearing your house jacket today.
How did you know it was my house jacket?
Because I've seen you wear it, and you're like, this is my cozy house jacket.
Yeah, it's my green down jacket that's more like a sweater. I know, I just wanted to switch it up today.
Very fancy.
Yeah, just do something a little bit different.
Are you chewing gum?
Busted.
Sorry, no, you can chew it.
No, I shouldn't. If you knew I was doing it, I shouldn't be doing it.
No, I can just hear a little chewy saliva sound every now and then. My headphones are very sensitive today.
Really? Is it too loud? I can turn you down. I turned you way up.
No.
Over here.
But I can hear like your lips.
Really?
Making little lip noises.
Huh, I wonder if this is the same mic. Where should I stick this? No, what do you do with gum?
I was going to give you a piece of my tissue, but it's sort of, I've blown my nose in it, so I don't want to do that.
I know.
Because you might catch my
I'll
thing.
stick it on my computer.
Don't shut your computer.
Right. Just going to stick it there because I can take it off easily. It's not like when you stick it onto something like a piece of paper.
All right, but I wouldn't put it back in my mouth afterward if I were you.
It's like silly putty. It's kind of fun.
Gum is kind of like silly putty.
That's ABC gum right there.
Already been chewed, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you ever used to stick, you weren't allowed to tape in your lockers in high school, so you stick gum on the back? That was before they came out with those sticky things that you can buy, which is basically just ABC gum. Anyway.
No, I never did that.
You didn't stick things to walls or to your locker with gum?
I don't really remember having a locker, except maybe in 7th grade. I didn't have a locker in 8th and 9th.
Why?
Let's see. What did I have one in high school? Well, I went
You
to
had to have. It's like a law.
No. I went to an alternative school in 8th and 9th, and it was in this old funky gas building
With no lockers.
Like it was a toxic waste dump.
Did you have cubbies at least?
Gosh, you'd think we would have had cubbies, but the place was pretty
some
small.
place to put your lunch and your coat and stuff, Kristina. You have to.
It was a hippie school.
So you don't get lunches or coats?
I just can't remember.
You are not this old. Can you stop? Of course you can remember. Think.
I'm trying to remember, like, what door did I walk in? I think I remember which door I walked in, but I can't remember what was right there when you first walked in.
I still have nightmares about forgetting my locker combination.
I remember trying to make snowshoes.
Dial at your hippie school?
Yeah, it didn't work. Because when we bent the...
Did you make them with, like, cat sinew?
No, we didn't even get that far. We just got as far as steaming the, what do you call it? I can't even remember.
Frame?
Yeah, we were steaming the frame and we bent it and it split and that was that. That was the end of the project.
This is not a good hippie school.
Yeah, well, somebody just wasn't really into it, I guess.
Jeez.
So, but there was a room upstairs that just had birds in it.
Like live ones?
With no windows. It just was birds. Doesn't sound very humane now that I think about it.
Live birds you're talking about?
Yeah.
I bet it was stinky too.
No, it really wasn't. I guess somebody was taking care of them.
The bird room at the pet store is super stinky. But maybe that's because they have rats in there too.
Which pet store?
The one in West Lebanon.
The big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a dog there once. Probably was from a puppy mill.
Go in there and ask to hold the dogs, pretending I was going to buy one. I just wanted to let them come out for a few minutes. And if you pretended like you were a little interested in buying them, they would let you hold the dogs and kittens in their little holding room that they had.
Yeah, well, of course, it's like playing guitars. You go in the little silent guitar room that's padded, and you can make as much noise as you want for as long as you want. And of course, most people don't buy anything.
Bad for those little dogs. What
Yeah,
kind of dog did you buy there?
Dogs are kind of like guitars sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you get a dog?
Yeah, I did. I got an Australian Shepherd down there.
A purebred one?
Yeah. It was beautiful.
It cost a lot. Everything cost a lot there.
Yeah, it was kind of expensive, and it was stupid. It was a credit card purchase because I fell in love with this dog. And I had the dog for a couple of years, and then I gave it to Aussie Rescue.
How come?
Because
it was stupid?
There was too much chaos in my household at the time, and nobody was there to really help me figure out how to keep the dog.
Oh.
Because if you have dogs and you can't manage them and they're going next door, your neighbors are calling the cops and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It just gets bad.
My dog has sort of become a bit of a wanderer. Luckily, we have not neighbors very close by, but she's very big into like patrolling the perimeters of the farm, except for she doesn't really understand where the perimeters are, obviously. So she's got to she's got to go like bark over the hill over there and then bark over the hill over there.
Do you always know where she is?
Well, I could hear her barking. She never barked for the first 2 years of her life. And just this winter, she started. Actually, after the coyote came...
And you got cats.
Well, maybe, but we had a coyote take one of our sheep a while ago, and ever since then, Mavis been more of a barker. I think she's just trying to protect.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's feeling more like a dog now.
I guess.
Which is great.
Man, this is the longest cold I've ever had.
That's what everybody's saying. Everybody who's getting sick says it just goes on and on and on and on.
And I'm super competitive about my health. I don't get sick very often, and even when I get sick, I pretend that I'm not sick so that I can be a wicked healthy person. But
yeah, that's why you're teaching skiing this afternoon, right?
Yep. That's right.
It's good.
And I taught dance class last night with like snot dripping off of me every time I swung my head around. That was
great.
Awesome.
Great.
But the 2 days before that, I never got out of my pajamas once. I just laid in bed and moaned.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thanks.
I mean, not that you were feeling terrible, but I'm glad you lay down in bed and just kind of let yourself be completely useless for a little bit.
It was useless indeed.
Yeah, that's why I didn't see you. We were going to maybe get together, but
yeah. No, I didn't do anything.
That's all right. It was
put on my gnome pajamas.
Your what?
I have gnome pajamas.
No, could you say that again?
Gnome.
That's like, hard to say with a stuffy nose.
Gnome.
Gnome.
And
Well.
then I just stayed in bed. I was on
Okay.
the computer sometimes.
I bet you were.
Yeah.
I'll bet you
But-
were. Want to hear a joke? Could I cheer you up?
Oh, man. Is it going to be as good as your joke last week?
I think it's a really fantastic joke, and it's good for Inauguration Day because it's nothing to do with the inauguration.
Oh, super. Go
But-
for it then.
Could I ask for one favor out of you?
I'm not allowed to interrupt you, I know.
No, it's not that. Could you introduce the show?
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have tuned into, if in fact you have tuned into, 11th Hour Radio, coming to you live from Royalton Community Radio, WFVR LP 96.5, South Royalton, Vermont.
Beautiful.
That's Kristina Stykos. I'm Emily Howe.
And
I don't usually sound like this.
But we're here to try to cheer everybody up on Inauguration Day. So here's a joke. Okay, what does a thesaurus eat for breakfast?
Oh God, I think I know this one. I don't remember.
It's your kind of joke.
Okay, what?
A synonym roll.
Oh, I couldn't even taste one today.
I know.
I'm really happy about that unicorn picture that someone put up there on the wall. I bet it was Courtney. It looks very Courtney.
I'm so glad that you brought up unicorns because I was going to bring up unicorns again since we.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you going on unicorns.
No, we have to. We were going to get to this.
All right.
It would have just come later in the show.
Just that picture that somebody, the colored picture of a unicorn spinning.
Oh, it's a unicorn.
It's
DJ.
a unicorn DJ, and I do bet Courtney put that up there. But
Why? What makes you think Courtney put that
I
up there?
don't know. It's just screaming her name,
Okay.
but it's cheering me up a little bit.
Okay. Well, guess what the Russian women's football team is called?
Are they the unicorns?
The Moscow Unicorns. And
Are we having like a problem with Russia right now?
Well, not the Russians themselves. I
Oh,
mean,
right.
These
right,
Russians. These Russians are.
I have a lovely Russian friend.
They actually play American football. It's not soccer.
What?
You know, football. How they call football in Europe is soccer. They call soccer football.
Okay, yes, I know that, but are they playing soccer or
No.
are they playing like
That's
Super Bowl type?
what I'm
football
saying.
thing?
I'm saying that they play American style football.
So with the ball with the pointy ends.
Yeah, that's why it's called unicorns.
That's not. You are really scraping the bottom of the barrel now.
I'm sorry. I can't.
okay.
I
It's
cannot help
okay.
myself. And since we're on this topic of different responses that people are having to the inauguration, one person on Facebook put up the Best of Ducks video, which really is really a good video if you guys want to see it. It's called, it's on a page called
Ducks?
the Duck
Quack,
Pages.
Quack, 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 ducks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can go to the Duck Pages on Facebook and you can look for the video called Best of Ducks. It's only a minute long and you can replay it as many times as you want. That's the really
Sounds
cool
very
thing. It's so
nice.
great, and I didn't really think that I felt one way or the other about ducks, but now I know how much I really do love ducks.
Well, I thought I loved ducks, but we got ducks and they were smelly.
Yeah.
I know I have a problem. I know I'm really weird about smelly farm animals, but I'm not kidding. Ducks are dirty.
Okay, what about Donald Duck?
I don't know because I think that he's fictional, but I bet he smells bad. And
Donald Duck? I'm sorry.
I'm too sick to deal with you.
Okay,
I think today.
I'm trying. I'm really.
No, it's okay.
As you said, I'm scraping the barrel. I was also going to talk about that my life would be better with cactus.
Oh, I stuck my hand in a potted cactus once. It was
Oh.
really bad.
Ouch. But wouldn't your life be better if you had a whole forest of cactus?
You can peel them and make them into candy somehow.
But they
Like only one kind, like the yucca.
they live so long.
They do. And
If you get a
owls
little,
use them for their home.
well, you can get a tiny little cactus and you can nurture it and take care of it, and it will last. Your kids will outgrow it. See, I have a cactus I gave to Wilder when he was a kid, and I am still the caretaker of this cactus, and it's gotten about 3 inches bigger.
Oh my God.
It's a proud, testament to my mothering.
I had a cactus in the bathroom once, and, you don't have to barely ever water them, but I think the moisture in the bathroom alone was too much for it because it was covered with fuzzy mold and then it died.
Yeah.
And nobody can kill a cactus, but I can.
Oh, my
apparently.
God. So many things happen in the bathroom. For example, I was going to say that I have a copy of the Constitution in my bathroom, and I'm really glad I do because that's, I think everybody should. If everybody had the Constitution in their bathroom, we would probably read it. We would probably become familiar with it. Just for example, today I looked into the Constitution and I saw who wrote it or who signed it. I remember a few of the names.
Have you seen that movie, National Treasure?
No.
It's about these people that are trying to steal the original Constitution out of wherever they keep it. But it's really stupid. My kids love this movie. It's an action-adventure movie with lots of, car chases and scaling of,
So it's sort of
Washington,
Is it historical?
DC. It's supposed to be, but then they discover Mayan ruins underneath Mount Rushmore, and I'm like, all right, you guys just totally effed up with your knowledge of anthropology there.
Right.
There aren't going to be any Mayan ruins hiding under Mount Rushmore. That's
a good point, Emily. Glad you...
I felt really irritated, and I tried to impress upon my children the factual wrongness of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to your Constitution in the bathroom, we have a big U.S. map in the bathroom, right?
I used to have one in the bathroom,
it's
too.
right opposite the toilet, so it's what you stare at. And
It's
I
great.
credit that with the fact that my 9-year-old son just placed first in his class at the geo-bee this last week. And I think it's because he poops a lot. That kid poops more than any kid ever. And you just must stare at this map. So
Yeah, he doesn't just stare at it. He actually learns it.
Well,
that's a whole nother
Well, he didn't get very far
level.
when he went on to the school level because he was the youngest, so they had to compete against the 8th graders. And
Good for him. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah, that's so funny about what we put in our bathrooms. I have a poster in my bathroom it's a beautiful illustration. It's a group of children. I think there's 4 children, and they're looking in a glass, what do you call it? Globe.
Like a gazing ball or a...
Well, it's as big as they are, so they're looking into it right about the middle, where the
bubble?
The equator would be. Yes, it's like a huge bubble, and they're looking inside, and inside they can see the beautiful terrain of the earth and the rivers. It's a fanciful picture. It's very beautifully done, and it's a poster that was in my house when I moved into the house, so I bought this old, broken down, abandoned house, but there was this poster, so I saved it, and I've always had it hanging in the bathroom, and it's personally signed. It says...
Is it Trina Sharp-Hyben? It sounds like one of her illustrations.
I don't think so, because the name of the illustrator was, I believe, Hispanic.
Oh.
And so what it says is, for your environmental stewardship... No, to Maggie Bryant for her environmental stewardship is what it says on it. So I happened to be in that bathroom, and I looked up at that poster for the millionth time, and I thought, gosh, I wonder who Maggie Bryant is. So I went on this.
Her?
I went on a two-hour
That sounds like a really
digression.
familiar name.
Well, I got really mixed results on that Google search.
Did you look up Maggie
I got some
Bryant's environment?
Yes, and also the poster itself was celebrating some kind of Chamber of Commerce technology and science event that was held in Mexico in in late 1990s, I think. So I looked up that, and I found up some conspiracy theory stuff on Maggie Bryant. That she was part of, the Rothschilds family.
Maybe she's hiding in a bunker in your basement still.
Well, I'm just so curious. I was trying to see what the possible connection could be between my house and that poster.
Who were the last names of the people who lived in your house before you?
Well, it wasn't the people who built the house, but there were some people who rented the house and were going to try to have a solar institute there.
Yeah, it sounds like them.
Yeah, there was a Californian guy. And
even closer, that's closer to Mexico.
Yeah, and there was a local guy whose name shall remain unnamed, who was in cahoots with this character. And I have a feeling, it was them. But I'm halfway into the mystery. We'll see how far I can get.
Wow, you could write a Nancy Drew.
Yeah, but Maggie Bryant is a super, super rich person who does philanthropy in the environmental sector, even to this day.
Whoa.
Like World Wildlife Fund. And anyway, that's a big digression, isn't it?
Well, my teeth hurt.
Yeah, I'm trying to distract you from feeling too sick by,
It's okay.
kind of gabbing.
You did for a minute.
Yeah, well, and now it's 11:20, so we can hear a song.
Oh, and I could go blow my nose.
Yeah, I think you like the song. And again, apologies that for people listening to this live on the radio, you're only going to hear one channel because of my stupid laptop having an issue with its headphone jack.
Your laptop's going to fall off the table in a minute.
Okay.
When you pulled it forward, it had less surface on the table than
how about that?
Off. Oh, good.
That's better. Yeah, but if you come to our podcast...
Yeah, and they're all over the place.
Yeah, you can find our podcast at 11thhourradio.com. You can subscribe to it on iTunes. You just have to... It's a little tricky to find it, but you can find it. And then you'll hear everything in good high fidelity. So anyway, I've got a track of music here called Old Hippies. Woo! By Davy Davis. And let's see if we can get it going.
Tried the straight world on, but he found that it didn't fit right. Found the ethics kind of loose, and the tie made his collar too tight. So he tread a different path, kept his home in his back road state. He tried to leave, but he knew that staying must have been his fate. He lived a life that was quiet and calm and out of the way. He never cared too much that he didn't bring home much pay. He met a woman he admired, and together they planted a seed. Cultivated their love and a family and some homegrown weed. Oh, burned out hippies gonna have their day. Gonna learn the whole world don't revolve around type A. When the laid back inherit the earth, what you gonna say? Old hippies here to stay, not fade away. Not fade away. A junky old car, don't care about no shiny machine. Knew his house would never end up in a magazine. The best time for him was spent with his family and friends. He never looked back, saw the means justifying the ends. Oh, burned out hippies gonna have their day. Gonna learn the whole world don't revolve around type A. When the laid back inherit the earth, what you gonna say? Old hippies here to stay.
I'm not on. I can't hear anything. I can't hear it. Oh, there we go.
That was like a rock opera.
That was some good music.
That is some heavy-duty stuff.
That's awesome.
Heavy day.
I will see that fella in about an hour.
It's kind of stupid to say that's heavy-duty stuff, but it's just amazing. What I'm trying to say is that so much work and creativity goes into making something like that, and people just don't even realize. I mean, they don't have to. It's not important. But I, being on the side of creating music, like that, it fascinates me. I know how hard it is to do something like that.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, so anyway, thanks, Davey.
And thanks for taking the crybaby never ever skiers later today.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for him last week. He didn't even get to go over to the lift. Like, he has the littlest, tiniest kids in the ski runner program. And he just kind of had them right outside the lodge, walking up about 4 steps and sliding back down. He's basically having to carry them everywhere. So I just feel really bad. Everyone else is like, woo, we're soft skiing with a bunch of cool kids. And Davey's got like the toddlers who are like laying in heaps and crying. And I feel really bad.
Well,
but I don't know if anybody else on the hill could actually handle those guys. So maybe
he's so kind. He's so good.
Hopefully he doesn't hate me and will be burnt out, and we'll try to give him a better class next year.
He's worked with all kinds of skiers. He's definitely.
These aren't even skiers. I don't even know if they can walk yet. Really, I'm not sure.
You're not making it sound very like. Why are they in the ski program at all?
I don't know.
Well,
there is an age limit, so they have to be 6.
Yeah, and it's good for them to be outdoors and just having fun and doing something interesting and learning stuff, because people at that age who are that small are going to, if they start skiing when they're that little, they're going to be really good eventually. Yeah. And that's probably, Davey probably started when he was that little, so.
Yep, we did too.
You guys were lucky. You got, your parents like put you right out there.
Yep, I had my kids out when they could also barely stand up, either between my legs or with the little, the little harness, which everybody on the hill hates you when you have a kid on the little harness, because you go back and forth down the trail, and your leash that you've got attached to your kid takes up the whole trail, and all these people are trying to get by you, and they're annoyed because there's a mom with her kid on a leash.
Yeah, that's probably
Sorry,
really,
that was me.
That's really bad these days. Back in the old days, it wasn't quite as crowded at the ski areas, was it?
No, you'd think it would be less crowded now because it's so damn expensive. Who has money for this? If I didn't teach or whatever, I could do it. Oh my God, I can't breathe.
Okay, so, I'll turn to my list.
Oh,
it's got so many exciting things on it.
Not mine, man.
I did think about a little good advice for today. Advice for today.
Oh, what?
I mean, what can you say? Everything has already been said, so it's really hard to think of anything to say that just doesn't sound cliche at this point. But this was sort of an interesting new angle on it. So this one is, here it is. Be your own president.
That's good.
That kind of goes deep, right?
Yeah.
Be your own president.
Well, I saw... Oh my God, I can't breathe. I saw this video of a bunch of people. Who put it out? It's not big business, so I was actually pretty impressed. It said, as the president-elect gets sworn in to uphold the Constitution, every U.S. citizen should also sort of swear themselves in to uphold the Constitution, which is pretty much the opposite of what's actually going to happen. But I'm sorry, I can't make any sense. I have no idea what I'm saying. Sorry.
No, I'm contemplating what you just said and how to respond to it. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are taking action, which is good.
Yes. Are you going to Montpelier tomorrow?
I don't think so.
I don't think I am either. I feel really bad because I wanted to bring my kids, but I don't know if I can do that right now. I'm tired, man.
Yeah, you need to lay down again maybe after tonight, after today.
I think I just
lay down again.
Take the day off.
But yeah, I'm not I'm probably not going to go up there, but I just feel inside myself, I feel something brewing. I feel like the power of the pen. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. And I feel that eventually I'm going to use my pen.
Yeah, I also feel like I will fight and make my mark somewhere, but I can't do it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not always about going to marches. Sometimes it is for me, but not always. So
I'm super psyched that everybody is, and most of my friends are, and I'm really happy.
Yeah,
and
me too. Every time I look on the internet and I see these huge gatherings all over the United States and, in fact, all over the world, I feel there is hope.
Yeah.
And I really do think there is hope.
It's about time that women got a little more riled up anyway. We've really gotten the shaft for many a year, and we've kind of whined about it, but we haven't done as much as...
Well, you know, women have so many bad habits. What do you expect?
Well, we also have just a lot else to do. Sometimes we just don't have time to fight back.
Well, this brings me to...
we're just busy trying to survive. But
okay, I don't want to interrupt that.
All right, no.
That meaningful philosophical
I'm just feverishly rambling. You go talk for a while.
Okay, well, it's Personal Growth Friday.
Woo!
And so my topic that I thought I would share with you, or I would have you share with me, because I know you know what this is all about. The topic is over-communicating.
Is that the same as oversharing? Because I'm definitely guilty of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so how do you define that for yourself anyway?
When anything even vaguely interesting or exciting or horrible happens to me, I feel like it needs to be validated by another person, which leads me to overshare either on Facebook or in my circle of friends. Or I also vent at people, and John says it's always sounding like I'm angry with him, but I'm not. Like I'm yelling about something that happened, has nothing to do with him, but since I'm angry and venting toward him, he's always like, you're making it sound like I've done this to you.
It's called vehemence. Vehemence. Can you spell that?
Yeah.
Vehemence.
You're cheating by pronouncing it with the H so that I get it right when I spell it.
Oh, you wouldn't have known it had an H in it?
Yes, of course I know it.
I think women... H. In my life, I've been put down for being vehement, and so I learned early on to tone down my presentation.
Yeah.
That's the kind of environment I grew up in. I mean, some women have big, loud families, and that's great. I
do. I have a very big, loud family. You have to just shout louder than anybody else to be heard, so that's what I do a lot.
Oh, see, and I had this experience that we'd all sit down at the dinner table, and I really wouldn't say anything. My dad would do all the talking, and if you had something to say, you'd have to really formulate it carefully and say it with good English. Grammar was bad. Grammar was quickly corrected. So, yeah, what we're talking about over communicating, and. But I guess something you brought up there was validation. Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm never enough. I don't feel like I'm enough to validate my own feelings. I want somebody else to say, yeah, that was awful, or yeah, that was funny, or yeah, that's exciting. Like, the feeling just can't sometimes live inside of me privately, and I validate my own feelings. Like, I tend to need... or want, I guess, someone else to agree with me before I could kind of get on board with my own feelings.
Yeah, it's having somebody actually hear what you're saying.
Which is why we have
friends
or a partner or a family, because why else would people deal with the general horrificness of living with other people if you didn't need someone else to validate that your life matters?
Yeah, and I think... You know, now with social media, we have ways to kind of create a certain kind of confidence with a much wider circle, and that's tricky, right? It's tricky. I mean, I've been practicing how to communicate with a larger group of people for a long time now.
It's good for introverts.
Well, yeah, it is.
A lot of people who are super talkative online, and they just don't. They're not talking to people in person. They're way too afraid. So... and I'm always like, wow, this person is really articulate and smart and all the things that I never would have known about them if they weren't oversharing about their life on Facebook. So that's good.
Yeah,
I
so
guess.
we're kind of a...
I lost track of your point or what I was saying a long time ago. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I think we're calling it oversharing and we're calling it over-communicating, but at the same time, in the same breath, we're saying we like it. We like to do it. We like it when other people do it, and we like it. Here's an example. Yesterday, I was on Facebook, of course. I'm on Facebook a lot. Because I really, these days, I learn a lot from Facebook about people, and I also learn a lot about myself and people's responses to me. So it's good for me right now. I'm not necessarily trying to, convert the world to using social media, but anyway, since I'm involved with it, I have commentary to make on it. So somebody that I know who lives in Burlington, I don't know her. I know of her, but somehow we're friends on Facebook. That happens, and she's a musician. So she got very upset the other day about something that was super personal. Her mother was in the hospital dying, and I guess it was her stepsister was doing something that was making her extremely upset. And she,
the mother or the original her?
The original her.
Okay.
And so she wrote a long, what, you might call it a diatribe. I think she was making an effort to be kind, but she was probably oversharing. And I looked at it and I thought...
Also probably overwrought. You probably shouldn't write things when you're overwrought. No, I guess you should, but you should hang on to them for a few days until the rottenness is gone.
Or share it quietly with maybe a smaller group.
I don't know. Okay,
I don't know. I really didn't fault her. I saw it and I had that twinge like, wow, she's really taking a risk here by doing this. And I kind of commend people when they take risks and are honest. I think it's good, but I also recognize that there could be repercussions from having done that. And sure enough, the next day she posted an apology and that she had hurt some people in her family, gotten a negative response from some portion of her family, and so she was making a very sincere apology about oversharing. It's interesting because I made a decision not to comment on the original post. I wanted to say something about her courage and, sharing that. But I thought, I don't know her well enough to really have an opinion in a way. I mean, I knew that it was a dangerous post that she was making, so I thought maybe I just shouldn't get involved with it and just let that one ride and just quietly appreciate it, without getting engaged with it. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, I feel, my heart goes out to her. I feel bad that she's going through such a hard time, but for me, it's good to see that people what people are going through. It's good for me to see that. I like to know. I like to have a sense that it's, everybody goes through hard times, and, it's not just me. It's not just whoever.
This is very true.
Mm-hmm. So that was kind of interesting. So that's on the topic of oversharing. But it is interesting how we sometimes end up feeling guilty or super vulnerable when we share something and we're not quite sure what response we're getting.
I always feel guilty because my mother hates personal stuff going out into the world. So I think she's kind of resigned herself to the fact that I'm a constant oversharer. Here comes a train. I'll just let you soak that up for a second.
Yeah, it's just filling in my soul. All the like empty space in my heart.
It's filled by the trade whistle.
Yeah. There it goes. Okay.
That train was coming for a really long time. I heard it a long time ago. Or maybe it was just a weird other buzzing in my head. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Mom, I think it's kind of cool that your mom does that because it's a nice contrast between the two of you. And I like when you sort of stand up to that in a nice way. You love your mom.
I do. But she has always been, and it's sort of in her genetics. Her family's always been that way too. You don't share personal information. You don't air your dirty laundry.
You know what's the flip side of that almost is keeping secrets. I think there's kind of two kinds of people. People keep secrets and people overshare.
Yeah. I do both though. Like, so I can't.
Well, what
be
like what
each
kind
time.
of what kind of secrets would you keep?
See, I overshare trivial things, I think, a lot. And every once in a
Nah, I don't agree with that.
every once in a while
They're not
I
trivial.
share things that are not trivial. But for the most part, those non-trivial things are my secrets, or have always been my secrets. And eventually they do sort of manifest in it. I have to get this out. But that's more recent. Like, usually the big things were secrets all my whole life, and now they're not really anymore. It used to be, I wanted everyone to think that I was an oversharer so they wouldn't guess that I had secrets. Because if you're an oversharer, how could you possibly keep a secret? Like, that your life was crappy or
So
something.
you're talking about kind of leading a double life.
Yes. So I used to think that if I just blabbered a lot and just exposed a lot of trivial information about me, that no one would guess that I was hiding.
Well, that's a little
Things.
different than keeping secrets. I think there's a slight distinction to be made there between keeping secrets, which are, to me, that means they're things that maybe would be useful for other people to know that you're withholding.
Right.
Where,
I never tell other people's secrets, though. My sisters think that I do because I'm an oversharer, but I know lots of secrets about other people that I do not tell ever, ever, ever.
yeah. No, I think I choose my friends among people who have very good discretional skills.
Yeah, that is
And-
definitely a skill which many people do not possess. It is so hard to not
Yeah, that's so true.
reveal interesting information that other people.
Yeah, like so
want.
I really have a hard time with people who will go and say, "Oh, so and so told me this about you."
Yeah,
That, to me, is a no-no. You
and
just
I
don't
know,
do it.
I know a ton of people do that, and it's really
Yeah, people just resist that temptation. There's other ways to talk about people than that, because it always something gets lost in the translation, and it just doesn't work right.
I don't understand why people enjoy repeating cruel information.
Because it bonds them with the person that they're sharing it
I
with.
guess so,
It's a bonding tactic.
but that's a little sad.
Well, it's insecure. We're also insecure that we have to use these
I know.
mellifluous. That's not the word. Malevolent,
Mellifluous?
mellifluous. What does mellifluous mean? I like that word. That's
Maybe you've created it.
Now, let me. I'm going to look it up, but I just changing the subject a little. Unless you had more.
I
to
think it
say
has
on
something
that.
to do with music, like melody,
Oh, you're right. You're right. It is. It's something that sounds
fluid,
Yeah, mellifluous. I don't even need to look it up.
harmonic.
Yeah, so that would not be the word I meant, but I'm glad that we said it because it feels good on the tongue, as many words do. But oh yeah, it's time for another track of music. Can you believe
What?
it? So
Already?
I have this treat for you. I have this
Okay.
big treat that you're going to help me sort of decode.
Does that mean I have to listen to it?
No, you're just gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you an image, and then you're gonna have to decode it for me.
All right. I
Okay.
can do that.
Okay, but we're going to go to a track of music. This is Patrick Ross and I think Matt Flynn are doing Buffalo Gals.
I love this song.
Yeah, it's great. love that tag. You know how
What's a tag?
when the fiddlers do that, like the song basically ends, but they put a tag on it. It's some
Like
little,
shaving a haircut 2 bits?
kind of, yeah. But somebody like Patrick does a fancy one. It's neat.
Well, he's a fancy guy.
Indeed. So it's ready for the decoding. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, so here's the rules to the game. Are that you're going to look at the CD cover, all right?
Yes.
And you're going to tell me what your impressions are and what it means to you. Now, I don't want you
Is this something of yours? Are you going to be offended if I...
No, but it is somebody's, and so I don't want you to reveal the name. Don't say the name of the artist.
I won't say the name of the artist.
Now, this person gave me their CD recently, and I'm just curious what you're going to say about it.
Okay.
Here you go.
Oh. Oh. Oh, there's some really unfortunate photography going on here. What?
I don't know. I just don't know.
I mean, if they're trying to be funny, like, kudos. All right, so can I describe it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So it's a man. He's kind of standing with his hip thrust forward in a field of weeds. He's got an electric guitar kind of hanging out on his hip. But the guitar is mostly behind his butt, and just the neck of the guitar is protruding out past his hips, and it's skin colored. And just past him, laying in the field of weeds, it's a blonde woman in a little dress, and her mouth is exactly at level with the guitar neck. And when you look at it fast, it basically looks like a man with a 3-foot long penis protruding toward this woman with a little halo of sun.
Is that okay to say that word?
Penis is a word.
Wait, but what is the red thing?
What red thing? That's her dress.
No, give it to me. Give it to me.
There's no
Give it
red.
to me. What is this?
That's the guitar neck / penis.
Oh my God, my eyesight must be so bad. I kept looking at that and I kept thinking it was like a spray of something.
Well, that is sort of what it looks like.
I'm so glad you identified that as an electric guitar because I couldn't quite figure it out. And doesn't this remind you of Kristina's World?
I was just going to say that.
I think
so the woman is laying in the same position as the woman in Kristina's World in a field, and then this guy is like, if they're going for humor, it's pretty funny, actually.
So you can see her back, just like in the famous Wyeth painting.
She's sort of laying on one hip in this field. And
the field is going upwards. There's no house, though. You know, in the Wyeth painting, there's a house at the top, a spooky Victorian house or something, or a farmhouse, I forget. But
do you think you should take a picture of that cover, blank out the title, and put it on our Facebook page?
No.
Honestly, if they were meaning that to be a joke, it's great. If they weren't, I just maybe want to give them the heads up.
Well, you could, looking now that I see the guitar, which I didn't see before, this looked like a holster to me. It looked like a gun. See, it looked like a gun with something coming out of like a...
You thought he was like spraying like gasoline out of a gasoline holster on his hip, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like, and that really didn't make sense to me. But now I see the guitar. That's helpful.
Yeah, see, that would be way too much to represent semen.
Right. But you could see that as romantic. You could.
Like,
you could.
Semen, gasoline...
No.
Oh, I could see this cover as romantic?
Yeah. I think this could be interpreted as kind of a romantic thing with the guy, the guitar slinger, and then the woman in the field. And I don't know.
Do you know this person?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Is he funny?
He's a great musician.
Is he funny in a sarcastic kind of dry way? Because that's...
I don't know him that well to say that. But maybe when I listen to the album, maybe I can figure it out. But see, on the back, that's kind of sexy. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what makes me think it's supposed to be romantic. Okay.
There's some discarded clothes on the back of the album.
Yeah. And some
shoes,
high heel
a
shoes.
shirt, and the guitar. Actually, it's a different guitar. No, maybe it's not. Maybe the neck is 2 different colors.
Yeah, well, people, it's just a cautionary tale about your album covers. Just be careful what you put on there.
I think that's milkweed they're in there, too. They're in for some
you
allergy-ridden sex.
You said weeds, but I don't think it really looks like weeds. It just looks
doesn't
like...
look like a crop that you want to, like...
Well, there could be some nettles in there. It wouldn't be very comfortable to lay in it. It doesn't look
know.
hospitable. It's
No,
not
it
like
doesn't.
it's not a hayfield, for example.
You know, if he just put the guitar on his other hip so it wasn't hidden kind of behind him, he would change the whole look of this. But
Yeah.
this may be what he was going for.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Thanks.
Sexual album covers decoded.
Yep.
101.
There you go. So,
We should do that for your next album cover. Some like really skanky innuendo.
yeah, you can meditate
You always
on
do
that.
something that's just straight out. Here's a horse. Here's my head. Like, you know,
Yeah, I know.
skank it up a little there, Kristina.
I know. I haven't. I remember back when I did
Never
my.
had a skanky album cover. Now that I think about it,
Well, I think this goes
They're
back
very
to
wholesome.
the 80s when I made my first album back in 1989. We sound great, don't we? What a pair.
you're fine.
Anyway, back in 1989, I had a real photo shoot with a real photographer for the first time, and Marion Ettlinger. And so she's a really great photographer, and a lot of photographs came back. And there was one that was super glamorous. I had my head leaning back, and my hair was kind of flowing down, and I had this almost a sexy look. I mean, it's hard for me to have a sexy look, but it was about as close as you'd ever come to that. And I had makeup on. And,
Whoa. Were
and
you wearing
so-
a dress?
No.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
no.
We didn't go that far.
No.
Were you
I
wearing
was not.
anything?
Yeah. Oh, gosh,
okay.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Was it lingerie?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I'm just
wouldn't do that.
I'm just trying to envision.
No, I'm not that kind of person.
All right.
So, but anyway, my stepmother thought that was the most greatest picture for the album cover, but I ended up picking this other one where I look really kind of like mad. Which went better with the album title anyway, Crazy Sorrows. So, anyway, so yeah, no.
All right. Well,
So I guess what I'm trying to say is I had my opportunity back then to do the sexy album cover, and I, even at that young age, I just said, no, I don't do that. That's not me.
that's good.
I still have the photo, though, somewhere. Although she got rid of the negatives, so I only have the contact sheets. I don't know if I even have a big one. That's not right. Photographers, well, you know, sometimes you get rid of photos, and you shouldn't. You should just keep them forever, because people will come back 20 years later or 30
really
years later
hard
and
to
say,
find the space for them, though. Even though it's easy to store them now.
I guess so.
I have boxes and boxes and boxes of negatives, which would take me a lifetime to sort through.
Yeah, it's. I guess
And I don't
it's
even
true.
have. I don't even have all of them. a lot of my photos got sort of ditched during my divorce, but I still have a ridiculous amount of negatives.
That's pretty awful. I hate when I hear so many stories like that of people throwing other people's stuff away.
Yes.
Ugh, it's just so bad. I mean,
Or
please,
just-
people, have restraint.
Selling it or stuff like that. I don't know. Nobody wants my negatives, but
Yeah. I don't know. People give themselves permission to throw away their moral compass under such situations.
But speaking of moral compasses, the lambs are coming.
Yay!
My lambs will be here soon. For the last 2 or maybe even 3 years, and this is really weird, the first lamb has always arrived on John's birthday, which is January 27th. So that's like coming right up.
Wow, that's great. But how are you guys planning a short vacation to Canada?
Well, some of my ladies that board their horses at our house pretty much can take care of our farm better than we can.
But it'll be past lambing season.
If they all come right soon, we'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
We're not having very many lambs this year because we didn't have very much hay this year. So we sold off most of our sheep and we're only probably having anywhere between 6 to 10 lambs, which is the tiniest amount of lambs that we've ever had ever.
Yeah, you guys are usually completely full out.
Yes, but I think we only have 6 or 7 pregnant ewes, and if they each give us one, or mostly, some years everybody has twins, some years nobody has twins, a couple of years people have had triplets, so we'll see. You never know what you're going to get. But not that many are going to lamb. So it'll be okay. But it's nice to know they're coming soon. Something good to look forward to on a sad day.
Is that what you're calling today? A sad day?
I'm
not sad.
I'm not sad. I'm just disturbed a little bit, but I'm kind of trying to just work through it.
I'm just ready to rock and roll. That's how I feel about today.
All right.
Let's rock it, people. Let's walk with determination into the future on a day such as today.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try as soon as
We got this. We got this.
I just gotta feel better physically, and then I can
take it on.
bring my claws out.
Yeah, the lambs are going to come, and you're going to get better.
Yeah, no matter what happens in the world, the lambs are going to come. No matter what happens in the world, the sun will come up until we, blow the planet up, and then the sun probably won't come up. Actually, you know what? Even when we blow the planet up, the sun will still come up. Just we won't see it. Yeah. Woo!
Ah, good point. So, okay, we have to get off the air.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, really. Look.
I gotta go beat the ski bus and spread my germs around. Woo!
Yeah, so everybody, thanks for listening.
I know.
We've had a great time.
We kind of have, and
Yeah,
we'll be
we've had a
back.
great time.
We'll be back next Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be less sick and more entertaining.
And less inaugurated.
Yeah.
Moving into 2017. So
have a wonderful weekend, you guys.
have a great weekend.